we are set to debate Tyler Bertuzzi. That's because, according to David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period, who guested on the show a couple weeks back, the Leafs have started contract negotiations and conversations with pending UFA Tyler Bertuzzi. So, Rosie, I ask you this question. How much would you pay him? How long would you go with a guy like Bertuzzi?
Yeah, hard to say. We've kind of said it on this show that like Domi was more kind of played more inspirational hockey, gave me, more hope that he was going to get something done. Bert seemed to be kind of fighting it, especially through the regular season, found it during some parts, but I don't know, there was something about him that seemed off, or, just again, facial expressions. You look at him, he just kind of seems a little bit stunned, like there's stuff going on behind the scenes. I just not trying to report anything. I'm just saying it's got that vibe to it. And I think he's got another level. Whether he can get there in Toronto or not, I don't know, but I don't think you put all the eggs in his basket. I think I'd be open to re-signing him. Domi first, and foremost. If you can only keep one, I'd rather keep Domi, believe it or not. And I don't think that would be a popular opinion before the start of the season, but he just seemed to show more, like he had more of what they need. I would cap him at, $4.5 million, but I think there's a chance just on his name that he's going to get more in the open market. So it'll be interesting to see where they come to. You just can't keep getting into, I don't want to let him go, so I'll overpay him a little bit. I mean, teams just get themselves so handcuffed doing that. But that being said, if you're going to let him go, he was our signing that we were all excited about. So you're just going to go out and try to find another one if that's the case. It's a tough one, man. Where are you at with it?
Yeah, so it really is a tale of two seasons. The first half, nowhere to be found, really, really struggled to find his confidence. The second half, he was really good, dragged the team into the fight. And that's where I think the conversation comes in with the brain trust in terms of how this guy can help you and what is the right price. I think you're accurate. I think some of the decisions this team has made in the past regarding contracts, you just can't do again. And I think I would try my best to align everything with next summer, where you and I both agreed that's probably when the Leafs will have the most flexibility to do something really, really crazy and substantial. Not to say that a Marner trade might not happen or might happen, I should say, this year, but they're going to have a lot of flexibility financially next summer, assuming they move on from Tavares or this is a substantial dip in AAV and the whole Marner conversation. But I think pertaining to Bertuzzi, you look at the body of work, the regular season, 21 goals in 80 games, the playoffs, he had a goal in 7 games. I think there's got to be that right price. And to your point, the threshold for me is around $4.5 to $5 million per season. He's 29. I probably wouldn't go more than 3, max 4 years on a contract. I just can't get in a long-term engagement with anybody right now. I think if I'm the Maple Leafs, I'm trying to create as much flexibility and room as possible here. But I'm okay with about 3-4 years.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just tough. I love the way he digs around the net. I love the way he gets into those dirty areas and is greasy and can cause havoc. But it seemed like even when he was playing well, we'd watch him do that, and it just didn't lead to anything. It was just like, ooh, some good pressure, ooh, some good chances, and it would just never end up in the net. And he would always end up on his butt or causing some mayhem, and the crowd would get kind of excited for a second there. But it never seemed to transpire into anything tangible that would go on the scoreboard. And that became frustrating. It wasn't just him. It was absolutely and literally every guy on the roster that just dried up and couldn't score. It's just, you don't know what you're going to get. And yeah, at the right price for the right term, absolutely. I just don't know with these guys saying, well, I command a lot more on the open market. Like, how are they going to just say, no, you're right, I'm going to stay in Toronto with all the scrutiny and history of losing here for less money to get the shit taxed out of me for, every penny I make. It's hard to ask, man. It's hard to think guys will go for it, but we will see. It's interesting. He's a pretty good player. He's got lots of what we need. I think he's got good hockey in front of him, whether it's in Toronto or not, we'll see. But yeah, you just can't overpay and overcommit to a guy that you're going to regret. You got to think long-term too.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long-form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.